And in this episode, it's all about WWE Payback. And actually, before that, I was able to go to the Go Home show on Friday, and that was really awesome. I have a vlog up on the main channel, which is Format Project, if you want to check that out. And on that Go Home show, we had the return of John Cena. And John Cena basically saying not only is he going to be back for the month, but he's looking to be at Superstar Spectacle and as well for WWE Payback. And I will get into more of what he did for Payback as he was looking to actually be the host. So a lot to look forward to there. So we'll get into basically the main card. That's it. No kickoff matches as of yet. But we did get to see obviously John Cena be the host. In the first match, we had opened with the steel cage match, just Travis and as well Becky Lynch, and these two didn't get to have their match at SummerSlam, which would have been awesome, but we did have their match be at Payback, and they actually opened the show. So when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, and that's exactly what they did. And these two really tore the house down for probably about maybe 30 minutes or so. And a definite classic for sure with Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch going back and forth and using the steel cage to their advantage, and everything obviously as Zoe Stark coming in not till later. But we did get to see Trish Stratus use the Widow's Peak. Shout out for Victoria basically, and as well Becky Lynch using the Twist of Fate for Lita. I thought Lita was actually gonna show up and eventually set up a tag team match, but that wasn't the case. We did see Zoe Stark trying to help out Trish Stratus the best that she could, but Becky Lynch wasn't having any of that, and Becky Lynch found a way to stop Trish Stratus, and after that, looks like Trish Stratus grew tired of Zoe Stark and basically attacked her. And Zoe Stark fighting back and attacking Trish Stratus, so it looks like maybe those two will be dealing out with their own feud possibly to see what's next with Trish Stratus. That remains to be seen on that. And then John Cena was able to come out and say that he was the host and everything, trying to basically get advice with The Miz, and those two dealing with each other and having their fair share of problems and stuff like that. And then we had LA Knight coming out, and then we had LA Knight and The Miz with John Cena as a special guest referee. So I did not expect to have John Cena as a special guest referee, but I added a little bit more to that. And those two going at it back and forth as well. And LA Knight actually getting the win, and a big win for him to continuing the push, which is awesome there. And having the respect for LA Knight and John Cena, where I thought they could possibly face each other. That it could still happen, but John Cena having the respect earned for LA Knight. And then we had the Steel City Street Fight, the Pittsburgh Steel City Street Fight for the tag team titles. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. A lot has went into this one. This one definitely surprised the hell out of me. They use basically everything that they can to their advantage with the weapons and everything, brawling into the fans. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn dressing up as hockey players, which is cool, using the hockey sticks. Kevin Owens actually at one point doing a dive near the fans and everything from the top, which is insane, to a table. So things got pretty chaotic. We saw Rhea Ripley obviously getting involved. We saw JD McDonough actually getting involved, and of course Dominic and everyone else from the Judgment Day. It was definitely a fight to the finish, and the Judgment Day actually get the tag team titles. A little surprising, but really cool because now they got basically almost all the gold besides the world title. So I'm sure that's where they're going to be going with next, and maybe we'll see Senior Money in the Bank. Damian Priest actually cashed in for the world title. Hopefully, that would be really cool. Then we had the Grayson Waller effect. Really was looking to be more so for Cody Rhodes. Actually didn't. Cody Rhodes ended up having his own special gifts and surprise of his own with the return of Jey Uso, now looking to be a part of Monday Night Raw. and attacking Grayson Waller on that. So Jey Uso will be a part of Raw and be on his own there to see what else he would be actually be doing. Since he's looking to be more of the face and actually leaving the bloodline, I thought he was going to be gone from WWE for quite a bit. Speculation on what was going to be happening with him, but he came back and dealing with Monday Night Raw, which definitely makes sense on that. And then we get into when Mysterio and Austin Theory for the U.S. Championship. Austin Theory wanted to get his United States Championship back, dealing with Rey Mysterio. An interesting match, and Rey Mysterio actually keeping his U.S. title, which is fair enough. They're so curious to see who Rey Mysterio will be doing his next feud with, probably with Grayson Waller. I can see that for sure. Then we get into Rhea Ripley with Cal Rodriguez, running things back, continuing things from basically where they left off with NXT and everything, doing things a little bit different. Uh, Basically, on that, the two powerhouses are actually having a fairly interesting matchup for sure. On that, but Rhea Ripley actually winning and keeping her Women's World Championship. So we'll see what happens next. I'm sure Rhea Ripley will deal with Liv Morgan when she's ready to come back. I can definitely see that. Maybe have another match with Raquel. That remains to be seen. And then the main event, World Heavyweight Championship match, Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke there where he needs to be. We also have a great Muta there. Of course, I believe helping out Shinsuke Nakamura a long time ago for his matches and everything. So he was just basically watching the matches. And also, we did have, before I get into the rest of the match, we had, going back to Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch, we had Tiffany Stratton still scouting things out and dealing with Becky Lynch. Looking to possibly face her, and it looks like after that, in the backstage segment, those two finally actually met, and it looks like they'll be probably facing each other for the women's title, I assume, at No Mercy. I think that's where they're going with this. So getting back into the world title main event, these two really going back and forth, and Shinsuke trying to make sure to weaken the back of Seth Rollins. That is the main point on that, and doing everything that he can to keep Seth Rollins down and out. But Seth Rollins is able to find a way and use the stop, take out Shinsuke Nakamura, and everything else in between. He was able to find a way to stop Shinsuke Nakamura. So I would like to see this continue. I like seeing heel Shinsuke Nakamura and in the main event. So I can see this definitely being a long-term feud. And that's everything with Payback, everything that happened. And I thought it was definitely enjoyable, very surprising for sure. And I thought definitely the steel cage match with Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch was probably the match of the night. The tag team title match definitely surprised me for sure. So really exciting stuff. So I definitely enjoyed Payback. Probably one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year so far, besides WrestleMania. On top of that, and a few others as of right now. So there's definitely that. So if you're watching on the YouTube version, leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to stay notified for all things in the Hot Seat Podcast. For the YouTube side of things, check out the link tree for all the socials on in the Hot Seat Podcast, and I appreciate all the love and support. And on the YouTube version, leave a comment as well, or if you want to leave a comment and talk about things on now X, if you want to put it this way, formerly known as Twitter. We can definitely continue that discussion as well. So about does it for this episode, however, for the Hot Seat Podcast, and I'll catch everyone next time.